Well, hello and welcome to another dessert edition of Kuma's Kitchen. These are cream cheese cookies. Now I add a little something else in there that gives them a little extra pop. You'll find out in the recipe. Right? So let's have a look at one. Well, you bite into it, it's just like soft inside and nice. And then it's got that pop of flavor from the special edition in here. So let's go in the kitchen and make some of these right now. All right, so to make these delicious cookies, there's not many ingredients we need. What we need here is, across the back, we've got 1 cup of sugar, and I like to use my kind of a blonde sugar. This is my favorite, my unrefined cane sugar. Any kind of light brown sugar is good. And you can actually use a white sugar too. And then I've got 1 3/4 cups of flour. I've got 4 ounces or 110 grams of cream cheese, and I've let it sit out at room temperature so it's a little softer. Same with this, I got a 1/2 cup of butter that's also been sitting at room temperature. 1 egg, also at room temperature, but it's not quite as critical as these two. Over here I've got 1 teaspoon of vanilla and a 1/2 teaspoon of the almond extract. It's got that bitter almond smell to it. It's going to add a little pizzazz to our cookies. And then I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. So first thing I'm going to do is just throw the salt and the baking powder into the flour, mix them together, and then we're going to set that aside. So just kind of make sure it gets distributed throughout there. All right, put that off to one side. And now what I want to do is I want to cream the butter. Put that in a large bowl. And using a wooden spoon, I used to use the back of the spoon, just cream away. See, because it's been sitting at room temperature, it's pretty easy to do. So then we're going to add the cream cheeses, and we're going to cream it in there too. So away we go. Cream that together. And now just going back and forth to cream the two together. All right, once that's been done, I'm going to add in the sugar, and we'll cream that into that. So, cream the sugar in there until it all comes together. All right, now the sugar is creamed into the butter and cream cheese. I'm just going to clean that spoon off. Make sure we have a lot of this little lick taste. Oh yes, that's good. All right, now going to add the egg. I'm going to add in the vanilla. I'm going to add in the almond extract, and I tell you can really smell the almond extract in here. Wow, that is a strong smell. But so we're just using like a 1/2 teaspoon, so it's just the right amount. And now I'm going to take my electric mixer and mix this like a minute or two until it's nice and smooth. All right, that's looking good and smooth. Perfect. So, what I'm going to do now, take the dry ingredients, add them to the wet ingredients, take my big spoon again, and just work that in. Just kind of cutting through a bit. I'll try not to spill all over the place. Cutting through until it all comes together. Okay, so that's all come together. Now you notice is that it's quite soft. What we're going to do now is going to put this in the fridge and firm it up a bit so we can roll it into balls. So, what I like to do here is just bring it together a little bit, and then I'm going to, I got to do it. Very good. All right, wrap this with a little bit of tin foil. Oh, great. This one hasn't been opened yet. All right. wrap some tin foil over the top of that. I always have trouble with these things. There we go. Okay, so that should do. It's worse with saran wrap. All right, I just want to kind of cover that up a bit. It doesn't dry out. And I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for anywhere between half an hour and an hour. Then come back and into the oven they're going to go. Let's see. There we go. All right, that should do it. All right, see you back here in about half an hour to an hour. All right, so that's been in the refrigerator only for 30 minutes, and that's stiffened it up a lot. Look at this, I can pick out pieces like that. So what I'm gonna do is I pick out a piece about an inch or 25 millimeters and just roll it quickly and plop it on. What I've got over here is I've got a baking sheet with baking paper on it, and then I'm just gonna pop those straight onto there and just give them a little space. We're going to flatten them down a bit. Okay, so just roll a bunch of balls about 1 inch or 25 millimeters in size. Quick roll in the hand. You don't want to warm them up too much. Just want to quick roll them, plop them in place, and keep doing that. All right, so that's the first batch ready to go. And what I'm going to do now is just flatten them down a little bit. About a little over half an inch, about 12, 13 millimeters. Just kind of like that. All right, so those are going in an oven over there, which is at 350 degrees or 180 degrees Celsius. I'm going to bake these for 10 to 12 minutes, just until they start to get a little golden around the edges. All right, so let's get these in the oven, and I'll just see you back here when they're done. All right, so these have been in the oven for about 11 minutes, and you look down here, you can see this one. You can really see a little, whoa, the gold underneath, and oh, they're hot. The gold, getting gold along the edges there, and a little crackling on top. Absolutely perfect. Those are going to sit there for about a minute on here, and then I'm going to transfer them to a cooling rack, and then going to be eating them pretty quick. They are smelling absolutely fantastic. So make yourself a batch of these delicious cookies. Now, if you like these delicious little cream cheese cookies, and they are delicious, check out our other recipes. We got a lot of them here on YouTube. Also, make sure you subscribe, because there's a new recipe coming out every Monday. And if you're not yet a patron of Kuma's Kitchen, consider becoming one, because your patronage makes sure that I can keep making these unique and most of all original recipes of mine, some of them dating back to when I was a kid. So make sure you consider becoming a patron of Kuma's Kitchen, and do make sure you make these delicious cookies and make cooking fun again with Kuma's Kitchen.